Okay. And we probably should say on the recording that this is working with iDevices, learning how to fill out forms and surveys using iPhones, iPads, whatever.
Yeah.
Just so that people know.
That's right. That's correct. And thank you. I was just silencing the device in the background.
Ah, yes.
Okay, so the the more important for this particular survey, the one thing you're going to be doing a lot is flicking. There are a couple of questions where there are edit boxes. There is one pop-up button. There is a table which reacts totally differently on the iPhone than it does on the computer, but it is a table because I've figured that out. But it's not it doesn't act as a table on the iPhone. So it's totally different. So I think the best idea is to just start at the beginning and just walk through the survey. So the best way to get to when I opened the survey link, it landed me right on the main content of Safari. So it landed me on the part that says, you know, Monday Morsel Survey 2025.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just started flicking. If you want, there's a little bit of a preamble to the survey, which just explains that, which you can read by yourselves, but it just explains why we're doing the survey, that we want to collect some data and find out how Monday Morsels is doing. Plus, it's a good exercise to help people learn how to do forms and surveys. So it's doing two things at once. If you go to your rotor and you have headings in your rotor and you flick down, the first heading after that Monday Morsels survey will take you to the beginning of it, and it'll say question title. And this is something that I really wish they could get rid of, but it's there. And from there, as I said, since you don't want to miss a question, you just start flicking and interacting. So the first one is a bunch of check boxes. So if you want to just check that out, sorry, same word. Verify that
on
just
them to
flick
check them.
That's right. So
Sorry.
whichever one you want to check, you double tap, or whatever you do without voiceover, which I think is just tap them.
And you can check more than one. In fact, it
Yes.
says check all the things that apply.
Yeah.
So
we'll give you a minute if you want to go through that process.
Okay, that's weird.
Okay.
It says annual member and a lifetime member.
Right.
Yes, they are two check boxes. So you're either one or you're the other.
Oh, that's
or
right,
you're
yeah.
neither. Remember, this is multiple choice, so you can pick whichever one applies to you.
Like an annual is when you pay every year, and a lifetime member is when you have paid.
Don't have to worry
the
about
whole
it.
thing. Yeah. Now, the other thing I guess we can say is at the end, it says other, please specify. If you flick right once more, there's a place where you can write if they haven't picked what you are in those lists. You could write something else in there by double tapping on that edit box and filling in something.
And we have more edit boxes to come.
Oh,
So if you
there's
don't
many,
wanna,
yeah.
there are a few.
Okay, I got a question. It's a weird one.
Mhm.
On the board, when you go down to the board member, because of course, I've been a past board member, but
Mhm.
then but then I'm involved with all the others still. So would I check both check boxes there?
Yeah,
Are
yeah.
you
It says
still a
check all
current
that
board
apply.
member? Yeah, it's all that apply. That you could check them all if you're all, you wouldn't check them all because some of them conflict,
No,
but
but this is what I'm saying, because technically I was a previous board member. And then, of
yes,
course, I'm still
Naturally.
involved
yeah,
with the affiliate and the committee.
yeah.
So that's why that one caught me.
No, remember, this is a survey to find out everybody's space, where we are.
Okay.
All right, and is that gonna go away
Yeah,
sometime
it should.
soon?
It should. Yes, it. Now, yeah, it only rings so many times, and then it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's finished.
So
Okay.
are you kept up with us, Mary?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yep, yep.
Okay, and
Okay.
Lisa too?
Yeah, I've actually done the next question. I'm
Okay,
sitting on.
okay.
Okay, Lourdes, how are you doing there?
I'm doing okay. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So as we go along, please shout out if if something happens and you don't know what's going on. So, okay. So I think number one, we've had enough time for everybody to deal with number one. So you keep flicking and you'll get to number two. And number two are radio buttons. So this one is you can only choose one. So if you choose one and you've chosen the wrong one, you just go find the right one and double tap it and it'll change. So this is a one choice out of the however many there are.
Right.
5.
And the reason they called them radio buttons is because of the old-fashioned radios where if you pushed one button in, that one stayed in, and the rest were so you would change them, but only one could be changed at a time. That's why they called them radio buttons
And
on
they
the
also look like,
old-fashioned car radios.
yeah,
Sorry?
and they look like circles. They actually
Okay.
look like circles. So you're filling in one of those 5 circles by doing a double tap on the checkbox. And please let me know when you have finished with number 2.
Yeah, I'm finished. Two.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
finished too.
Okay.
Lisa and Louise, we'll just give you.
Yeah, I've done that one.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
waiting.
you're
done that one.
done. Right.
Okay.
Okay. So number 3 is an interesting one. So it is a pop-up button on Safari, which means that you double tap on the button and then it opens up a list of choices that you flick right to get to. And then once you choose one, it closes that menu up. It closes it up. And the pop-up button now has your choice in it. So the name of your choice now becomes part of the name of that pop-up button. So everybody play with that.
Got it.
Now that's interesting because at the bottom, if a person has trouble, and many surveys don't do this, it says it's an edit box and you can write in there how often you read Monday morsels. If
No,
you
that's
couldn't
the
use
next
that.
one. That's the
Oh,
next one.
is it? Oh, because
Yeah,
it says
yeah.
slider alternative. So
No, that's number 4
okay, never mind then.
or number 5 actually. Yeah, it's number 5 is the slider.
Right. Okay.
We're on number 3. That's
Yeah,
okay.
I'm skipping ahead, and I didn't mean to even. I'll be quiet.
That's okay. All right, Lisa and Louise, how are you doing with your pop-up button?
I
But
got the
I
five.
did that. I got that last night, so I was just only waiting for you to explain. So it was
Okay, All right.
It's
then
it's
we need
it's further down where I had trouble, so.
Okay, so we need to, I just want to make sure that we're not moving too quickly or too slowly. So please everyone let us know where you're at.
So, okay, so, so how satisfied are you with and it says, I chose something and then it says pop-up button. So have I chose it or not quite?
Yeah, you have.
Yeah, I have
Mhm.
chosen. Oh, okay,
If it
that's what I
says,
kind of
if it
thought.
says your
Yes.
answer in that spot,
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
it
Okay, then-
does.
remember
you're good.
remember I said once you hit your selection, it will
Yes,
add your
right.
selection
Yeah,
word
that's just
to
fine.
that pop-up.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
All right,
I-
Lourdes, you're okay?
Yes, I'm
Jeez, it's
good.
ridiculous.
Okay. What's wrong?
Oh, this friend of mine's been second time she's called because I guess I didn't answer the first time. So I'll just ignore it. It stopped. It
Okay.
stopped ringing now anyway. So
Yes.
hopefully she won't
Okay.
call a third time.
All
It
right.
also says selected, so you know that you've selected your,
Oh,
the
okay.
thing.
Okay.
Right.
So the
Mine did.
Okay.
next,
Yes,
all
it
right.
did.
So the
Okay.
next one is a simple edit box. So it's, how could, tell us what you think, tell us how we can improve, what you like, what you don't like. So this is where you can wax poetic, you can write a novel, you can whatever you
Aha.
need to do. Does anyone have issues writing in edit boxes? And you can also, once you're in there, you can double tap to start dictation too.
Oh, yes. Right. Well, that's
will I
good.
be able
Yeah.
to dictate because I'm on Zoom and on
I was
email?
just gonna say, but don't try that now.
Right.
Because I don't think it will work. It might, but it might not.
Yeah, you have to come back and do that one
It
later, 'cause
might,
yeah.
you might get
Or
kicked out.
or the other thing is when you're in the edit box, if you have a external keyboard, you'd be able
Oh
to type
yeah,
in there.
obviously.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, making that note for anybody who's listening.
Mm-hmm.
It's not on the call.
Okay, well, I want to hear
Right.
the actual question. Yeah, I'll just read it.
Okay. So are we good on number 4?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Lisa was saying was this where you had trouble filling it in?
No, mine is down, I
No.
think, where
Okay.
it's probably the tables, like she says,
Okay. Okay.
Okay, we'll get there. All right,
Yeah.
so number 5 is a slider.
Mhm.
Which basically has the numbers from 1 to 100. And the scale is basically going from never to every Monday as soon as it comes out. And it's a slider. So on the iPhone, what I did, because I am not a good double tap and hold, if that gesture works for you, that will get you there. For you, Lourdes, I think it's a one tap and hold.
Yes.
But for voiceover users, I love to use the one finger triple tap instead of. I have never had success with the double tap and hold, and when they
Thank you, me either.
yeah,
Me
so
either.
try the one finger triple tap. Find the thing where it says slider and do a finger triple tap, and what it'll do is it'll turn it into a picker. And you can
Oh,
just
yeah.
flick up and you should hear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, add to 100. And you can pick with how close to never or how close to I read it every Monday as soon as it comes out do you fall. So if you never, you would put like a 1. If you always read Monday morsels, then you want to get as close to 100. If it's somewhere in the middle, then around 50. And then just to make life easier, if you don't like that slider, there is an edit box that you can double tap and put in a number. And that edit box will actually change if you use the slider. It will put the number that you picked in that edit box afterwards, which is kind of neat. I was amazed that it worked, to be totally honest.
Okay,
That's why I tried this morning, and I was like, oh, a slider, okay. Let's see if that works. So I had no idea what what was gonna happen, but it does work, and it works pretty easily, I think. But
so I'm trying to think which way the numbers work. Lower
they go
is,
up.
yeah,
Lower
they
is
go up. So the
never.
lower number is never, the higher
Right,
number
and the highest number is I read it as soon as it comes out.
okay. Okay, I get
So
it.
it's basically a percentage if you think about it. Rather than putting the numbers 1 to 10, it's a slider. So it's just another way of another format of the question. It's he could have put radio buttons like question 2, where you have a single choice, and he could have had the numbers 1 to 10. He could have had, like, there are many different ways of doing the same thing. So this is a slider, and after everybody finishes with it, I'd really like to know what you thought of that form of the question, because if you think it's easy, then we can do more like that, because it's it's a different way of doing things. It's but if it was awkward, and if we get people telling us the slider was awful, then we won't do it again.
Okay,
'Cause
so
there
when
are
you get the
many
number
ways of
you,
doing things.
so when you get the number you want, you don't have to do anything to
No,
select.
you just flick out of there. Just flick
Go-
right
Right, yeah.
and just flick past the edit box, and you'll hear your number that you picked. And then you go on to the next question.
Oh, okay, I got it now. Understand? I've never done that before. That's a weird way. That's
Isn't
different.
that funky?
Yeah.
I thought it was funky.
Yeah, it
One
is
of the,
funky. I don't know what I think of it. I'll be honest. I like it and I don't like it.
yeah, one of
Because
the
you sometimes,
reasons we put that question in is the purpose of this was to show people what you would come across online. So we don't have to use all these in future surveys, but this was to teach people when they come across it, how you deal with it. So that was the purpose for having all these different weird and wonderful question types in here.
And number 6, you should recognize. We've had one before. So I'll just let you figure out which one this is, and if you'd want to just tell me what you're gonna do here. And I'll take whoever goes first, who will probably help the rest of you. But this is a one we've seen before.
you
Number
can select
6.
more than one, can't you?
Yes,
Yes.
yes. So it's like number 1. So it's exactly the same as number 1.
But the options seem to be options like as if you're using a computer, not a phone.
No, not
No.
really, because headings are there.
Well,
Arrow keys, well, no, that's computer stuff. But moving by headings, moving by links, well, no, yeah.
Yeah,
Depending on if you have you could, because you could move your rotor, you could move by links, you could move by headings.
Do it all the
Arrow
time.
keys, arrow keys, not so much, but links and headings for sure. You
I
could
look
do
at
a
it,
find command if you have a keyboard or a braille display. So if you had one of those and you were using them with your phone, you could do those. So no, not all of them are iPhone specific. You're right. No, sorry, I cut someone off.
I'm going to say, yeah, if you're answering this, you know, if you use between, because sometimes you might use your computer, sometimes you might, like me, use my phone. So yeah, you might select different ways you do it.
That's right. And that's what it's asking. How do you navigate? So it's
Mhm.
not saying how do you navigate every single time, but what are the ways that you use to navigate Monday morsels? And
Yeah.
it, if you use on your computer, if you use your arrow keys, you can put that in. It's not
Mhm.
gonna, it doesn't
It-
matter which
it-
device you're using now. It's what do you use?
Mhm.
It's the way it says only arrow keys. It's the way it says it. It said arrow keys. It should have
Well,
not said,
but it says only arrow keys. So you would only pick that if that was the only way you navigated Monday Morsel. So this is obviously a computer one,
Yeah.
and it's obviously only arrow keys,
So
right?
it's
So it would basically cut off all the rest of them.
Yes,
yeah.
yes, I'm on a Zoom call. I can't talk to you right now. Well, I know, but why you call about, this is the third time you called. Well, I
Yeah.
know. Well,
Do you want to mute
no, but
Mary?
Yeah.
we're both fine, right? You guys.
I could go mute Mary.
Poor Mary.
no, because I was thinking some people, if you're using the computer, you might use your arrow. See, sometimes you might use your arrow keys after you go for your headings or links on your computers
But
too.
this
That's what, yeah.
isn't arrow keys though, it's only arrow keys. So if
Yeah,
it's
I
the
realize
only
that.
way, right?
Yeah.
So that would negate the use of any of the other ones.
Yeah,
Like
I
you
know.
could,
And that's what I all of a sudden
that's,
realized after I heard
yeah.
that word only.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
only. So it's for someone who's very,
No,
like,
no
that's all
problem.
they use.
Mhm.
Hi, you're back, Mary?
I'm back, yes.
Okay. How are you doing with number 5, which was a repeat of number 1?
Oh, yeah, yeah, I'm doing
Or
fine
sorry,
with that.
number 6.
Number
What
6,
are we,
that's,
number
Yeah.
6?
yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Is everybody else okay with number 6? The
Yes.
check boxes? Okay. Right. So, wow, number 7. It's the same as number 6. It's the same as number 1. So again, it's a list of choices and you can check boxes and you double tap on the ones that you want and it's multiple choice. So you can choose one or all or none or yeah.
What this will help us do is figure out what kinds of training people need. Because if we got a lot of people that said only arrow keys, we would know that they really need to learn how to use headings and links and various other options. Whereas if nobody puts that in, or very few do, we'll know that many of our members are able to have the skill to do this. And it's not a good or a bad, it's just helping us know how to make our training.
Okay. And number 8 is the same as number 7, 6, and 1. So we'll give you a chance to go through if you want to answer 7 and 8. Just let me know when you're finished 7 and 8, because there's nothing more I can say about 8
No.
that I haven't said about 7, 6, and 1. They're check boxes. You double tap on them, or you tap on them if you're not using VoiceOver, if my understanding is correct. So number 9 is the
Okay.
fun one.
I'll go back over that later.
Okay. Let me know when you're ready for number 9, because that's probably the one with the most angst, maybe.
Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm ready for 9. Mhm.
Okay.
Well, I'm not there yet. I will check it.
No problem.
Okay. No, we're not in a rush.
Take your time. Yeah.
Okay, I'm there. Okay.
Hey, Louise, are you ready for 9?
Yes.
Lourdes, are
Yes.
you ready for 9? Okay. Have we still got just the 4 of you? I haven't looked at the participant list lately.
Oh, neither have I, but I Uh,
It's
I can go and look.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're still the four of you. Okay, fine. Now, number 9 is actually a table, but on the iPhone, it doesn't behave as a table. What it behaves as is basically you flick, and there are going to be repeats. And the thing to understand with this one is, where is the actual radio button that you're picking? So this thing has a bunch of statements, and each statement you get to choose whether you want to hear more about it, about the same, or less. So there are three, it's a set of radio buttons for each of the 3. Or each of the 7 or 8 or 9, however many there are. Sorry. And each group of them is 3 choices. You're either going to choose, I want more, I want the same, I want less. And the way this works on the iPhone is, the first time you hear the actual what you're choosing about, so the article or topic, is where the radio button is. So that's where you would double tap to choose it. Then you hear it again, and then it goes to the next one. I think that's how it happens. And that was the one that I was really looking forward to being able to show you on with my phone. And of course I can't, because I can't remember how to get Safari into private browsing. And so I couldn't do the survey again. So if one of you can just confirm that you're only hearing each topic name and choice twice.
Yes. Well, actually, I'm only getting them once.
But you're using a braille display.
No,
so
I'm,
that-
I am, but
okay.
I'm flicking now. I thought, I mean, it's hooked up, but I don't think that matters.
I think it does.
Oh, it may.
I think if you want to get the same thing, I would turn on voiceover. like
Oh, it
turn on
is,
your
definitely.
speech. Okay.
It is on, I'm using my speech, I'm not touching the display.
Okay, because what was happening to me is I would hear so say it was topic A, we'll just use that. So I would hear topic A more than, topic A more than, topic A about the same, topic A about the same, topic A less than, topic A less than. That's what I was hearing this
Huh.
morning. But if you're hearing something different, I wonder if your navigation style somewhere there is a navigation
Mhm.
style choice, and I'm wondering if we have different ones.
Could be, because I hear it's actually kind of cool because it tells you what the thing is, and then it says whether it's more, less, or about
Yes,
the same.
yes. But
So it's
how
very
many
cool.
times?
Only
But how
once for
many?
me.
So it's going more than the same than less? Ooh,
Mm-hmm.
interesting. Okay. What's everybody else getting?
I'm looking at
Okay.
it. I'm actually reading it. And what
Mhm.
happens is once I choose, I cannot choose the same one down the road because it erases the one I put up. Say, if I chose more of this topic on one of the questions, I cannot choose it again.
You should be
Weird.
able to for the
should,
next
yeah.
question, yeah. For not for the same question, but you should be able to choose it for the next article.
No, it erases. I can choose it, but then it disappears.
So if you go down a couple of rows,
Yes.
so let's say
I choose the first one. I say I choose about the same. The
okay.
second one, I cannot choose about the same again because then it erases the first one.
No, that's weird.
That is.
That's very strange.
Like it
I'm
doesn't
gonna,
stay. But if I
wow.
choose a different one, it stays until I try to choose the same one again down the road. And then like I can
Wow.
only answer for each category once. So I could only answer potentially 3 questions if I wanted to use one of each answer for the questions.
You know what? You're right. Oh my God. I'm doing it on the, I have the survey up on my computer. And I just tried I just tried choosing more of the topic for the national, for the, what is that? National chapter and affiliate news. I picked more of this topic. Then I went down to vision issues from other sources and I picked more of this topic. And then I went back up to see what was going on above it. And you're right, it didn't stay. Okay,
Yes.
there's a problem. There's
Yeah.
definitely, okay, let's not spend time on number 9. Because there's obviously an issue somewhere.
Hmm.
Not sure where. That's bizarre. Wow.
Well, I'm
Okay.
wondering if it actually picks it, but because you've already done it, it doesn't show it to you again. So that
No,
it's actually,
it actually unpicks, it actually
oh, it actually
unselects the other
unpicks it.
one. It does. It actually unselects. It's as if the more of this topic column is acting as a radio button.
Radio button. Well, and it said
That's wild.
somewhere. Yeah.
That's okay. We'll get Lee to look at that. Okay, so number 10 is an edit box. So it's just shouldn't, is there anything that we shouldn't cover, basically? And 11 is if you want to be put in the draw for a door prize, you put your email address. So basically, we have gone through the whole survey.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
I'm just blown away with
Okay,
that,
if I got
the
10.
way that, okay, so 10 and 11 are both edit boxes. We've been there before.
Yeah.
They are the same, they work the same. There's nothing, yeah. So of the others, I'm blown away. I wonder what in the world my survey said. Because I didn't know that it was changing things.
No.
So I really wonder what my number 9.
And anybody who's done the survey
Wow.
up to anybody else who's completed
Yeah,
it
and there have been 14 of them.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
So yeah, that's gonna be a problem. I'll be calling Lee right now. As soon as I get
Because
off the
the
phone.
table did
here.
work before. When we were
Yes.
testing it, it worked because I filled it in on the computer and the phone, like as a test, and it didn't take away the other topics.
Did you check though? Is because it's
I
something
think,
that you
well, I
see,
don't,
it's
I thought I
something
did.
that
You wouldn't
see, it's
check.
something that you wouldn't check, right? So
Yeah, it's only because I was looking at it
well,
that
I'm
I
glad you
saw it
were.
disappear, and it's like, where did you go? You know?
And then I try it on the computer, and that's exactly what it's done. Like it literally has done that. So that's
Well,
really
lucky
bizarre.
lucky that some of us hadn't done it, but we're going to.
I think the reason that it's doing this, and I think that there's a setting somewhere in SurveyMonkey, is if you think about it, if you wanted someone to rank 5 things as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, so you would have the same kind of setup here where everyone would have access to 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, but you wouldn't be able to pick each number more than once. And so I think there's a setting that will make only one of them stick, or it won't be that way.
Yeah, it
So
would be a
I think
setting
that's,
in the
So
Well,
survey.
I-
you
I'm-
know, it's calling them radio buttons.
yes, it is.
And so if it's calling it radio buttons, it's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. But they
But it-
shouldn't be radio buttons. So
Well,
it's,
they can be if they're not showing as a rank. And I think that there's something that he didn't check off or did check off that says, is this a ranking? Should we be ranking these? Because
maybe.
if it were 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and you had 1 to 9, and you had 9 of these, you
Mhm.
wouldn't want the numbers to be able to be chosen more than once.
But then I think you might want to call them check boxes instead of
No,
radio
well,
buttons.
But that's
Because-
what they're always called in these tables.
It's true, yeah.
That's what they're always called, because you're only checking one per row. So the
Mhm.
radio button should be going across the row and not
Yes,
down the column.
Not down
and
the
that's-
column.
Yeah, but we will check that. Thank you, Lourdes, for pointing
It's-
out that,
Mhm.
and I
It's
tried
just
it.
a
and
lucky
it-
thing.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we've done the radio buttons, weird ones and not so weird ones. We've done check boxes, we've done edit boxes, we've done sliders, and we've done a pop-up button, which on the computer is a combo box.
Right.
Is there any one of those that you want to go back to, that you have any questions about? Where can we, is there anything that if you came across these kinds of controls in the future on a different survey, would you be able to handle them?
Yes.
I think so, yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's learning and listening, and that's,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
and understanding them all, and that's.
Yeah.
Sure.
And listening to voiceover and what voiceover tells you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because for you, usually voiceover will give you all the information you need.
Yes.
Exactly.
And you just have to learn what to do with it. Okay.
Okay.
For
Thank you.
people who want to exit out and not submit
Yes,
it.
not save, yeah.
Now, if you do want to submit it, even with a table, I would request that you do that. But for those of you who want to exit, there's an exit button at the very top of the survey on the left.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can always just go to the app switcher and close Safari.
That's
Yeah,
what I
that's
did.
the other way. Yeah.
I did that, and that's
the
what I did last
fastest.
night, and it didn't save any of the answers. So,
No,
No,
it wouldn't.
no, it
It
wouldn't.
wouldn't. Yeah.
so
Okay. So
should we
I'm gonna-
should we wait for a new survey, or we just submit it?
Yeah. Okay.
Well, that's up to you, because if you want to say, if you want more than one of those to have the more than,
Yeah.
or the more than, or the less than, or the about the same, then I would wait.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm gonna
waiting.
wait.
And I'm
Right, I think
I'm
I will
waiting.
too, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Is there like I said, is there anything else that we
But
can?
you've really given us a very more clear understanding, and selecting the first one was something I did not realize always. So thank you for that. I was like, why is it repeating it? And it was like trying to select it always. And it was like, now I get why I was having problems.
Mhm.
Okay.
Something
All
simple
right.
as that.